Test 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Insurance Benefits and Lives Committee for Wednesday, November 6th.
This meeting is being conducted virtually and in person, so I will do a roll call of the trustees to confirm attendance. Ms. Ginsburg. Here. Mr. Razzo. Ms. Gray. Mr. Rue. Mr. Sanchez. Mr. Oakham. Here. Mr. Green. Mr. Moore.
Here.
Mr. Kehoe.
Present.
Mr. Harris. Chair Robbins.
I'm present.
Staff participating in the meeting include CEO Santos Kryman, Deputy CEO Louis Lugo, AEOs JJ Popowich and Laura Guglielmo, Chief Counsel Stephen Rice, Legislative Affairs Officer Barry Liu, Assistant Division Manager Retiree Healthcare Leilani Ignacio, Consultants Stephen Murphy and Michael Zito from SECO. Trustees, please use the raise your hand Zoom option to be placed in queue. At this time, we ask all meeting participants to mute your mics until you are ready to speak, and we may now proceed with the agenda. And we have no requests received for teleconference meeting attendance under AB 2449.
Thank you very much. Item 3A, approval of the minutes of the meeting of October 2nd. I need a motion.
So moved.
Okay. Do you have a second?
Well, somebody want, Ron, you want to second it?
Yes, I second it.
Okay.
Agreement.
Mr. Kehoe.
Aye.
Mr. Oakham.
Aye.
Chair Robbins.
I abstain.
Okay, the motion passes with one abstention.
Item 4, public comment, and I'll give time for anyone from the public who wishes to address the board to do so. I don't see any hands up in the audience.
I
We
don't have any
anything in writing.
requests.
Thank you very much. We are now on item 5A, engagement report for October 2024. Mr. Lewis.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair Robbins and trustees. Some items of interest this month. The first one concerns hiring in the public sector, which has seen challenges, but in a recent survey by NCPERS that covers over 158 pension plans, some optimistic results here. In their survey, they report that about 49% of respondents report no challenges in attracting staff, which is up from 38% in 2022. And about 80% of these funds offer flexible or remote work options. In terms of wages, the results is that it's a 4.9% increase in the public sector compared to 3.9% in the private sector. And then a lot of the wage growth is within communications, HR and legal departments, where compensation has risen by 8.3%. So some encouraging results, although about 12% of respondents report that they still face recruitment and retention issues. The next item is a survey.
I just want to make a comment about U.S. systems getting a C+ mark, and maybe things are going to get better. We can get more. You took out all the government pension plans, that C+ would probably be a D-. We're the only defined benefit plans that are left out there anywhere in the first place. So that is a very disturbing fact. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And I think part of that is due to the fact that with pension plans, well, first off, the issues deal with the fact that only about half of workers have access to a plan. And then with those plans, there's what's called leakage, which is that people have access to retirement funds before retirement. So generally, you'll see that more in defined contribution plans, with pre-retirement access, as opposed to, defined benefit plans where you can't access the funds until you actually retire. So they compare various, countries here, and also report that about 40% of Americans who do switch jobs just cash out their funds. So that, again, erodes long-term savings. But you can see some of the comparisons here in terms of various countries and how they rank here. Those with A's are like Iceland and Denmark and Israel. B's would be Singapore, Australia, Finland, and then or B pluses, I should say. And then those with B's would be like the UK, Mexico, Canada, France, Germany. And then finally, it's in terms of the three-legged stool for retirement security, Social Security kind of remains the main income source for a lot of older Americans. Again, in terms of not having access to either workplace retirement plans or not having personal savings. The next item is regarding striking workers at Boeing and pension plans. So if you recall, even last year, strikes with the United Auto Workers, they had demanded a reinstatement of the pension plan. And so with Boeing, it's been the same demand. Unfortunately, that demand has not been met. So, and it's an example that it's very difficult in the private sector to sort of reinstate pension plans. One example last year was IBM reinstating its plan, but that was sort of a unilateral move. It wasn't a result of labor negotiations, and it was more having to do with the fact that their plan was overfunded, so they needed to, take care of it that way. The next item is regarding Chicago and Illinois, which is interesting in how, you look across the country, there's no really one-size-fits-all approach to retirement plans. So at least in Illinois, a lot of times the teacher's pension plan is a statewide plan, but in Illinois, Chicago itself has a teacher's plan as well. So what's interesting is that if you live in Chicago, your taxes have to fund not only the Chicago plan, but the state plan as well. So there's been discussions here to consolidate them because of some of the financial challenges that the Chicago teachers plan has been having. But again, there are political and financial challenges to doing that. You may recall I previously reported in Illinois that in terms of their safety plans, they did try to consolidate those plans, at least for investment purposes. Apparently, there are over like 600 of these municipal safety plans in Illinois. And then finally, an interesting item about people who lived to 100, centenarians. And the study suggests that a lot of this might be due to either bad data based on clerical errors or fraud. There's a study done, and they found that a lot of agent inaccuracies come from missing documentation, in particular in, say, places like Spain and Japan, where during wartime, there's a loss of records. And then when you look at census errors, audits reveal that, again, some of these centenarians don't really exist. And of course, the implication of pension plans is that we have to have processes in place to ensure that, those of our members who are over 100 are indeed alive and that they're, legitimately receiving benefits. So we have those processes in place in LACERA to, do that. But the study was raising concerns about, longevity studies that are based on data when, the research should be based on, say, genetics, diet, and social engagement. But it's just being aware that, some of these studies on longevity, might be slightly distorted due to some of these data errors. So that concludes my report, and happy to take any questions.
I just have one for you, Barry, and that's just another quick update on the pension offset windfall status.
So my understanding from our last update was that this was essentially moving it to a floor vote, and it's expected to take place after the election. I would say sometime within the next month or so. So we'll continue to monitor that. But that was the last report that we had in terms of if there was going to be a floor vote, it's going to happen after the election, which took place yesterday.
Okay, anybody have any more questions for Barry? Thank you. We're now on item B, staff activities report. You're up. Anything?
Yes, good morning, Chair Robbins, trustees. My name is Leilani Ignacio, and I'm here for Sandra Smith, who is attending a conference. We just have one item to report, and that is we submitted the 2022-23 retiree drug subsidy payment application to CMS, and we're pleased to announce that they all have been approved, and we received a total payment in subsidy payment of $9.5 million. And we thank Siegel and our carriers for their support and helping us complete this project timely. And that concludes my report. If you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions? I got an interesting email from a retiree yesterday morning, and I actually forwarded it or 2 days ago, and I actually forwarded it to Cassandra, but there's no need to because there was concern that there were issues with Anthem and one of the providers that Anthem uses don't have the contract renegotiated between, and I might have been Provident. I don't remember which medical group it was, but it was the actives. It was not a retiree plan. It was the California, it was ALAD's California Care Plan. So
Got it.
when I found out that it was the active plan, I told the guy at Popa, do your homework. So bottom line is that's your problem, not our problem. So,
Thank you.
oh, wow.
Always a nice thing to say.
Yeah, kiss it off to somebody else. Was there a claims experience, Michael?
Good morning, trustees. The first exhibit contains the premium enrollment. The medical, dental, and vision monthly premiums and membership have changed minimally compared to the prior report. Next slide, please. This exhibit contains the non-Medicare claims experience for LACERA's Anthem, Cigna, and Kaiser plan. For Anthem's non-Medicare plans, the year-over-year 12-month rolling trend represents a 9.7% increase as of September 2024, which is a 2.3 percentage point increase compared to the prior month's report. Cigna's year-over-year 12-month rolling trend represents a 23.9% increase as of September 2024, which is a 3.6 percentage point increase compared to the prior month's report. And Kaiser remains unchanged from the prior report and will be updated in a future report. Next slide, please. This contains the Anthem claims experience on an aggregate basis and by plan. For all plans, the rolling 12-month trend represents an 8.7% increase as of September 2024, which is a 0.7 percentage point increase compared to the prior month report. Plans 1 and 2's year-over-year 12-month rolling trend represents a 9.6% increase as of September 2024, which is a 2.6 percentage point increase compared to the prior report. And prudent buyers year-over-year trend represents a 9.4% increase as of September 2024, which is a 0.7 percentage point decrease compared to the prior report. And for Plan 3, the 12-month rolling trend represents a 8.9% percentage point increase through September 2024, which is a 0.8 percentage point decrease compared to the prior report. Next slide, please. This contains Kaiser's utilization report and remains unchanged from the prior report and will be updated in a future report. Next slide, please. This contains the high cost claimant report for Anthem, Cigna, and Kaiser. For Anthem's non-Medicare plans, which includes plans 1, 2, and prudent buyer, the rolling trend as of September 24 represents a 48.2% increase compared to the prior period. This is due to 4 individuals accumulating medical claims in excess of $700,000 for the current period. For Cigna's 12-month rolling trend Cigna's 12-month rolling trend represents a 91% increase compared to the prior report. This is due to fluctuations in the small and mature population. Claim volatility is due to a lower polling threshold of $100,000, and one individual reached claims in excess of $1 million. And Kaiser's figures remain unchanged from the prior report and will be updated in a future report. Next slide, please. This contains the Anthem's lifetime maximum tracker. From August 2024 to September 2024, the number of at-risk members decreased from 204 to 202. Next slide, please. This contains the prescription rebates and remains unchanged from the prior report. Next slide, please. And this contains the dental and vision claims experienced through September 2024. Cigna's dental claims on a 12-month rolling trend basis represents a 5.4% increase, which is a 0.7% percentage point decrease from the prior report, and Cigna's claims represents a 8.8% increase compared. Cigna's vision claims trend on a rolling 12-month basis increased by 8%, which is a 1.7 percentage point decrease compared to the prior report. Thank you.
I have a question. Can you provide an update on the Kaiser strike? The mental health strike?
Yeah, the strike with the behavioral health workers within
Correct.
Kaiser is still ongoing. So they're continuing to work through that. I think the represented members probably reflect about maybe 40% of the total behavioral health workers for Kaiser. So there's still access and they're trying to kind of work through that, but it is taking some time. And I had an update on that, I think, just last Thursday. So
And have we had a large impact to our members in terms of people inquiring about not receiving services or anything like that?
We have not.
Okay,
We have
good.
not so far.
Thank you.
before we transition to the next topic too, just to update the board, we have initiated work on the 25-26 renewal process. So it's underway. We usually begin that in October and then try to bring that to conclusion probably in early January, so we can bring it to the board in February. So that's underway and we're actively engaged with your vendor partners. Should I go to the
That's it?
federal legislation? This will be the shortest one I'll ever do. I have nothing to add.
Yeah, you and the rest of the world. Okay. Anybody have any questions of Steve? Items for staff review?
I have nothing.
Nothing. Items for future agendas?
I have nothing.
Nothing. Good of the order? Why don't we just hold good of the order off to the regular board meeting, and unless somebody's got something they want to spew out now, so other than that, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We adjourned.